So, roughly a week removed from the beta that came out recently, and I mean, it was obvious. It's Evo weekend, and this game is pretty much still in development. We were gonna get some news about Granblue Fantasy vs. Rising. Now, I never got around to doing a video talking about my experience with the beta because I did get the early access, and of course, as you know, it became open after the first 2 days. But I'll get to that after we watch this trailer here. So the character in question is Nier, and again, in case you don't know, I am not that knowledgeable about the Granblue franchise. All I know is you put a fighting game on like a franchise, even if I don't know anything about it, I'll probably buy it, you know? But with that being said, I have played Versus, and I do like the designs for the most part. My favorites being Beelzebub, Vasaraga, Zoe, and now Siegfried, who I played the most in the beta, and I had so much fun with that character. He's awesome. I was totally thinking about Soul Calibur Siegfried, who is actually one of my favorite all-time fighting game characters. But let's see what this trailer has got going on, and I'll talk more about my experience with the beta after I watch this. So let's go. Why do you reject me? Promise to stay by my side. Nier. Granblue has really good music. Like, I think I've made that remark before, but yeah, they have really good music. Alright, what you got? It's kind of giving me like moody vibes. Is that a turret? Or it's just like a regular old card? Oh, it is a turret! Death. I just saw that. That is a turret. Interesting. And she's like a puppet character? I really like, of course, the difference in sound there. Because, of course, this figure, for what I'm looking at, has like a metal mask on, and it definitely reflects in the sound as well. Let's destroy everything, everyone. This character is already giving me moody vibes, but now she's like a moody doomer. Got this Relius Clover style freaking persona thing going on with this character. Yeah, she's giving me the vibes of like a moody doomer. Ooh, is that a parry? Or was that like a reversal? Let me see. That looked like a parry. Interesting. Speaking of, is it the same card every time? Let me see. This is death again. Okay, so it's just, maybe it's not a turret. Or maybe it's just that card. It's kind of interesting how moody she sounds. Like, at least she has like a very moody kind of gothy, like, oh! I hate this world. Ah, that right there was a parry. That was a parry right there. What I was gonna say was like, it's very interesting how I get these very gothy and very angsty vibes from her, but yet she's very, like, very teary-eyed. Like, the crying kind of reminds me of Josie and Pyrrha from Soul Calibur. Oh, man. Oh, let me go back. Hold up. Ah, my man Bub's going down. Yeah, that was a freaking parry right there, and it's so funny. Struck her right in the head.
Granblue Fantasy vs. Rising.
I'm pretty sure that's not blood. My beloved. So I wonder who that is. Like a loved one, maybe? Oh. The wind rises. So from what I understand, that character we saw at the end, his name is Grimnir, if I'm not mistaken. And at least according to the captions there, apparently like he's a wind warrior. Again, like I said, I am not really that knowledgeable about this franchise, but just design-wise, it's not really a aesthetic that I'm really crazy for as far as Grimnir. Nier actually seems pretty cool, actually. I mean, I like characters with darker overtones, and granted, I'm not really that crazy about puppet characters. I would be at least interested in trying her out. I caught word earlier that Granblue is actually going to have character skins, like, costumes or whatnot, which is actually pretty interesting for ArcSys games. I know the one of Gran, I think, was revealed at EVO, and yeah, that's pretty cool, honestly, because with these anime fighters like the ArcSys games, I didn't think, alternate costumes would be that much of a thing. At the same time, though, all the mods that we've seen over time, it's like, come on, y'all can do this. Finally, to go back to something I alluded to earlier, I want to talk a little bit about my experience with the Granblue Fantasy vs. Rising beta. Overall, I had fun with it. I actually had fun. I mostly played Siegfried, as I mentioned earlier, Zoe, who's actually very fun, and I actually didn't play Zoe back in Versus because, in case I haven't told you all before, when it came to Granblue Fantasy Versus, the previous game that is, I played it for a little bit of time. I got it upon release, but the netcode kind of annoyed me, so I kind of just put the game off to the side, so I really didn't play a lot of the DLC around that time, even though I do remember a lot of people were just kind of falling in love with Zoe. Granted, of course, Granblue Fantasy Versus did have good single-player content, which actually I did go back and revisit, but as far as playing matches, I really wasn't interested. But thankfully with Versus Rising, netcode's not going to be an issue this time, which I'm very happy about. There are two things that I didn't like about the beta. First of all, because I know it's been a hot topic, I am in that camp of people that's pretty critical about what they've done with these simple controls versus the classic controls. And in case you don't know, right now, in the Granblue Fantasy Versus beta, at least that one that just passed by, there's no difference between the two. And what I mean by that is, usually when it comes to using simplified controls in fighting games, there's a big trade-off of sorts. Like with Street Fighter 6, if you play modern controls, you don't have access to the character's full moveset, just a portion of their moves. When you do auto combos, you're only doing a fixed amount of damage, not as much as you actually could be doing. There is none of that when it comes to Granblue Fantasy vs. Rising, at least far as the beta is concerned. There's no trade-off for using simple controls, and I'm not really a fan of that. Now, I'm not saying simple controls can't be in these games and that they should be taken out. There's a reason for them. It's just that I like the balancing of having a trade-off for using said controls. And a lot of people will hear me say this and they'll think, oh, you're just mad that an inexperienced player can actually match up with you now. My issue with a lot of things concerning these types of topics with fighting games is the fact that people don't think about these things proportionally. This is not a game where it's gonna survey you or freaking, I don't know, do something to where it downloads, like puts a chip in your brain and downloads and sees how much fighting game experience that you have, and then they'll instantly lock. Like, you get what I'm saying, and if that example is a little too cartoony, my point is, it's not just inexperienced players that have access to simple controls. Anybody can use them. Anybody can. And I wouldn't put it past certain professionals or experienced players to actually play with those simple controls themselves. I mean, there's already been a trend in Street Fighter 6 of people actually making headway with modern controls, like actual professionals. Even there's a debate talking about modern controls are just better than the regular ones. So I don't know if that's what they were going for with this game, but I'm not really a fan of that. Because yeah, while it might make it easier for people who are inexperienced at fighting games, it's also easier for people who are experienced. So it's not really leveling the playing field like a lot of people think it is. The other thing that I didn't really like about the game, at least in the beta, throws in this particular build are kind of weak. Like, there is such a long window, at least for someone like me. I'll take into account that I've been playing fighting games for all my life, for the most part. And maybe this is easier for me, but there is such a huge window for teching throws. It's just, it got so it got ridiculously easy after a while. Now, granted, there were times where I would get caught by throws after the long period happens, but after a while, once I caught on to it, I was able to tech throws like, I was able to tech throws with the simplicity of breathing. Now, if you land a throw as a punish, then as you've probably seen pop up in certain matches, there's no escape. That's where you would use your throws, which makes sense, but far as like trying to open up someone's defenses, having that long throw window, I'm not so sure about that. Like, it's a little too easy, but then again, this is somebody like me that has been playing fighting games all their life. So for somebody who might be annoyed with other games where it's a very small window to tech throws, maybe this might help them out with that. But again, it's just the balancing of the dynamic when it comes to experienced players clashing with inexperienced players. But again, like I said, this didn't ruin the game for me. I'm still very much interested in it. I'm probably still going to pick it up because I know a lot of people don't like these changes. A lot of people don't like the fact that they changed so much from the previous game and that they said it was a matter of, hey, it wasn't broke, so why'd you try to fix it? But I'm still interested and still willing to pick up Granblue Fantasy vs. Rising. Like, despite my nitpicks there, like I said, I still enjoyed the game, and honestly, I don't know if maybe I overlooked something, but I could never tell if somebody was using simple controls. So, like I said, it's still fun. I still enjoyed myself. I even can't wait to try out some of the other single player content in here. But yeah, that's all I got for this one. I'm definitely interested in Nier, not so much in Grimnir. But let me know what you thought about this trailer. And until next time, I am Chris Lotus, signing off. Y'all take care of yourselves, be safe out there, be cool to each other, and stay cool by staying hydrated, please. See ya.